What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 85 of the Game Room Podcast. I'm Rome.
And I'm Dev.
And we are here to go over the news in video games for the past week. Dev, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
The vibes are good right now. It's been a few months since I would say that the vibes are good. But, the Eagles are on top. Go Birds.
Yeah.
That game yesterday was...
It was fun.
That was a lot of fun. It was incredible, too. Yeah. And the Ravens are a great team. There's no taking it away from them. It's just impressive to me. Other than that, it's Christmas time now.
Christmas time.
Best time of year.
I just finished 90% of my shopping today.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't started.
Finished early.
I haven't started. I'm really behind. We got the tree, and I'm excited, but I had to work, and then hopefully I'm going to decorate the tree tomorrow and then get started on the Christmas shopping this week. But welcome on in, everybody. We have a few viewers with us right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, this is the Game Room Podcast, where every week we, recap and get you ready for the next week in gaming. We are entering the slow part of the year, where most of the games have come out. Notice how I said most. Mm-hmm. Not a lot going on. We still have stories to talk about, but I don't think a lot of them really are big impact news headlines to get into. But we're going to shoot the shit, have a good time, talk about games, and then, preview what's coming up next week, which is the Game Awards.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's get into the headlines. Number one in the headlines, Microsoft has tried to launch their Xbox mobile store on Android, but they're delaying it. A few weeks ago, Microsoft executive Sarah Bond said that in November, players will be able to play and purchase Xbox games directly from the Xbox app on Android. It's almost December and the feature still isn't live, but Sarah Bond is saying that it is not Microsoft's fault. The problem, as she puts it, is that Microsoft would only be able to do it once a court order takes effect that it forces sweeping changes for Google's Play Store on Android, like opening it up to competition and ending the requirement for apps to use the Google Play billing. On October 18th, Judge James Donato granted Google's request for a stay while it appeals its ruling that the Android App Store is an illegal monopoly, which would leave things hanging in the balance for quite a while. Bond referenced that in a thread on Blue Sky this past week, writing, "Due to a temporary administrative stay recently granted by the courts, we are currently unable to launch these features as planned. Our team has the functionality built and ready to go live as soon as the court makes the final decision." So just one thing when I was reading this, I love that this, I think, is the first time in a news headline where we're using not X, but we're using Blue Sky, by the way. So The Verge, that's the first one.
Nice.
Blue Sky blown up. I love it. I understand I'm such a shill, but I just want I want the platform to continue to grow. So I'm going to be obnoxious about it. It's great. X was down today for multiple hours. Nothing was lost. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's great. I've started my routine of me being on my phone. It used to start with X, and I would be miserable. And it's just I don't know, man. It's just different.
Yeah.
All the discourse there it's positive. It's constructive. It's not trolling. It's not negative. It's great.
Twitter was so big. It's going to be a very slow death. It's going to take a while.
Well, what was funny was, so Elon's trying to get people to sign up for X Premium or whatever, I forget what they call it, and so it had a Black Friday bug that would come up and hey, it's on sale, subscribe to Premium, and so I guess people weren't doing it, so they removed it was saying yes, subscribe, or no thank you, mm-hmm. as the two options, and at one point they removed the no thank you, so you had to actually X out of it.
Oh man.
But they put it back on, but it was it's funny. Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like the Xbox app is kind of ready to go. They're just kind of waiting on Google to get this figured out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. After this article was published, actually, Google spokesperson Dan Jackson responded with a statement that the company had made a couple weeks ago. And Microsoft has always been able to offer their Android users the ability to play and purchase Xbox games directly from their app. They've simply chosen not to. The court's order and rush to force its implementation threaten Google Play's ability to provide a safe and secure experience Microsoft, like Epic, are ignoring these very real security concerns. We remain focused on supporting an ecosystem that works for everyone, not just two of the largest game companies. Um, so I want to get your thoughts on this, but I think that it's really interesting to see Microsoft. We talk about it on the console side of things a lot, where it's like Xbox's strategy and their future looking strategy of what they see gaming as, and it's kind of interesting to look at it from the mobile perspective, where it's like that's what they're doing there too. Like their vision of the future is like like it doesn't matter where you get your games, just get your games on there. Like get Xbox. Xbox's storefront should be on mobile devices. Like it shouldn't go through Google's storefront. Like that's clearly their vision for the future. And Epic, obviously, with the juggernaut that is Fortnite carrying that entire company. I mean, that seems to be where we're going. And it's one of those weird things where it's like I don't know if I agree with that future vision. Like I don't know if it'll work in the long term. But like they're definitely fighting a consumer friendly fight right now. It's really hard to argue that they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this?
No, it's we've been seeing stuff like this for a very long time. This fight has been going on for a very long time. And at the end of the day, Google's going to lose, Apple's going to lose. Epic is the one that's pushing it, and as soon as it's passed for Epic, it's going to be passed for Microsoft. They'll have their store up.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just it makes things more accessible.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So Epic has actually chimed in as well. Let's see. Trying to get caught up to where the quote was. Of course, now I can't find it. Sorry, I thought I had it.
All right.
Oh, no. Dead air is never good.
Are you looking for the next?
No, I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find the excerpt of the Tim Sweeney and what he had said. I had it like loaded up. So you got most of your Christmas shopping done already?
Yeah, got your stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to tell me what you want because I actually haven't. I know. Usually I kind of just figure it out.
Yeah.
And this year though, I gotta come up with some stuff.
Yeah.
Because you've been so busy, it's like, I don't know. Because last year we got you the AJ Brown jersey last year, I think, right?
Yeah.
And the year before was the Xbox Elite controller. But I don't know. Anyways, all right. So I guess for some reason, this article is just not showing. I saw it when I made the script, so I apologize. Basically, Tim Sweeney kind of came in and was saying that Google's statement is deceitful. Shame on them. You know, it's just like Microsoft and Epic kind of teaming up, trying to get this thing done.
Yeah.
But yeah. Number 2 in the headlines, and kind of our topic, but I thought that the first topic was a bigger news story, so we led off with that. But number 2 in the headlines is the new PlayStation handheld report was backed up by Digital Foundry today. Last month, Bloomberg reported that Sony is developing a portable console capable of playing PS5 games. It claimed that the company was in early stages of creating the device, which is still years away from a potential release. In a video on Monday, which was today, Digital Foundry said that it could corroborate some of Bloomberg's reportings. They said, what's interesting about this is we actually heard about this handheld some months ago from a couple of sources specifically, said senior staff writer John Linneman. So we're not in the business of leaking things, but it's interesting that it's finally sort of started to make its rounds because it just sort of confirmed what we had seen and heard of off the record about this existing, which is cool. Quote continues, so to me, this sort of thing just strengthens the notion that, yeah, they're very much working on something. And this article makes it seem like it's even further out than I actually thought based on that. So I'm not sure where it's going. I think there's like prototype stuff out there possibly. There's still a lot of questions for this, but it does feel like the future of offering a handheld and a home console option is very likely at this point. I mean, we've seen this over the years a lot where, Nintendo does something and the rest of the industry kind of follows.
Yeah.
And obviously you talk about the Nintendo Switch and it's just such a massive juggernaut hit that you look at Xbox and PlayStation. Obviously we talked about last week with Xbox Xbox confirms that they have their handheld coming. A lot of the rumors that we've talked about this year was that Xbox's next generation console will have two SKUs, one a Series X like device, the other SKU being more of like a Switch device where it's going to be, maybe the power of a Series S kind of thing, but like the main point of the console is the tablet that you take with you. And then obviously PlayStation, they put out their device earlier this year that was more so for remote play.
But I think either last week or 2 weeks ago, they just turned on cloud gaming for it, where
Yes.
the console wasn't even needed,
Mm-hmm.
and people are saying that it's working pretty fine. So, I think we're going to see a lot of. I love this for handhelds. I love handheld gaming. The DS. I know we were talking about this before, where you said the GameCube is your favorite. Is probably your favorite console ever.
It's my favorite Nintendo console is the GameCube.
Okay.
Like I stand by that. I just think the GameCube is such a
For me, it's the DS.
Right.
I love the DS so much, and yeah, I like handhelds. And it seems like the technology has caught up to the point where we can have, console grade handhelds on a just all the time. So, yeah, I'm excited for both PlayStation and Xbox where they're going to go with this.
Yeah, I think that the competition in the handheld sector is well needed. I mean, obviously you have the Steam Deck and you have the
You have
Switch,
the various like PC handhelds. that
yeah,
are
like the
popular
ROG
right now.
Ally and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just it makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
I feel like PlayStation. So I will say this though, I feel like PlayStation is not reacting necessarily, not being reactive, but I think they see the landscape and they look at like Nintendo's success and the rumblings that we've heard about Xbox, and I definitely think that they're probably, again, I don't want to say like trying to keep up, but it's like
I almost think I almost think they have a better chance with them. So they already have a device out there. They just put out cloud gaming. They can learn a lot from that device that's already in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
To work on something that's completely portable.
Right.
Switch is also, I mean, like the Switch 2 is probably going to outsell both of them combined. If I'm being completely honest, I think it will.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's very tied right now. Xbox has all of Microsoft behind it. They have a whole operating system that they already have.
They have the tech.
Yeah, they had the tech already. They had to build it. PlayStation has a little bit of experience. They had a head start with the PSP, and it was too ahead of its time, I guess. So I think it's kind of fairly even across the board.
Yeah.
What they do with that's completely different. But I think everyone has a good chance to have a good handheld.
Yeah, I just think it coincides with where we're going with the future, where it's like you gotta give gamers like as many entry points as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are people who do want the handheld experience, and that's going to be their main
so in
experience.
the
You're a
market for
handheld
it.
gaming.
I'm
You're
ready
the
to buy one.
you're the bitch at this point.
Yeah.
Not
I get what
actually,
you mean though.
you're the guy.
I am I'm waiting for a handheld worthy. Like I was almost bought the ROG Ally, and I saw the issues with it, and it's not there yet. And I want a handheld so badly. I'm hoping that the Microsoft handheld can be what I think it's going to be, and I'll be excited for that.
Yeah, I'm really interested because obviously this is going to be a thing that you lead for us here, where it'll be all right, Dev, this is the news about the handhelds this week. Yeah. I'm interested to hear it because again, I'm not a handheld guy. My history of handhelds is the experience exclusive to a handheld, then I guess I'm playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's growing up, yeah, of course, if you asked me how much I spend on my time I spent on my Game Boy, it would be a lot. But that was only because I couldn't play Pokemon. Couldn't play Pokemon on my N64, which is actually not true because Pokemon Stadium. But you get my point.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
It's just that was just what it was. So I mean, yeah, I'm really excited to see where we go with this, and I think that it's going to be a very interesting sector. But I'll say this is PlayStation, you need to support this.
I think they will.
Their track record does not, outside of their main console, which they kill it on, the PSP, or the PS or the Vita, PlayStation Vita, we were talking about on Ty's show the other day, where the Vita is such a great system. People really believed it. And you look at the guys over at Kinda Funny, where they believed in this thing. They called it Vita Island because it was just it's just a fan base that's they're just starving. They're just stranded.
Like Ty said, I agree with him when he said that to make Vita games, it was completely different development cycle. You had to make your game, and then you had to make a Vita version of that game.
Mm-hmm.
We're headed today where the console version is the handheld version, and that cuts out a lot of the middleman. That makes it a lot easier for people to support these.
I hope
these
so.
things long. It's the same thing with their VR system. It's like
they stopped supporting the VR too.
Yeah,
though.
it's a completely different market. It's a completely different game. You can't just take a game and put it over on in VR. So
I mean, I hope you're right. Their track record right now outside of their main console. Damn straight, says Ty. What up, Ty? Their main outside of the main console though, like they historically and again,
I agree with that.
It's calling a spade a spade. Like they've always done really well in the home console sphere, but like when they venture out, historically speaking, it's not even like due to lack of interest or lack of tech or like whatever it is. They just kind of stop caring.
Yeah.
They put these things out there and they just die, and it's the weirdest thing, and it makes no sense to me. Where it's like PlayStation, like they're getting back into the handheld market. They never had to leave the handheld market. But they felt like for some reason they were just like, we're done with the Vita. Like the VR market, like we were talking about on Ty's show. It's another one where we were talking about like VR and like how impressive VR is and how much like I want to buy a VR. The only thing that's stopping me is money at this point, is price, right? Like if I win the lottery, like I'm buying a VR headset like that week. But like it's just like I wanted to buy a PSVR 2. We talked about it where I was like, man, like I was really leaning that way. And then they just stopped supporting it. Like there was just no support. And then they were like just trying to get rid of them. And like, all right, well, we're going to make it PC compatible, which is, they're not doing that because they're being consumer friendly. They're doing that because they need to drop their inventory because they're just not selling them because there's nothing to entice customers to buy them. But also,
people weren't playing them. Like you said, it's an island. It was a island of fans because that community was so small. And it took a lot more development for the PSP than it was the one was going out the door. You know what I mean? So I think we're at a point where, I mean, I'm happy they tried. Microsoft hasn't even tried, and they have all the things at their fingertips.
I think
for a while they had the best VR headset, and they didn't even do anything with it. They could have easily paired it with the Xbox. The Xbox was advertised as VR ready.
Yeah,
back in the original advertisement, and Microsoft had the best headset at the time. And I get it was too expensive, but like one side tried and failed or gave up, and the other side didn't try at all. It's I can't be mad at
the problem is it's not even that way. I mean, Phil Spencer has said in the past where it's like they know what they are and they know what gaming, like they look at VR and stuff like that as like, yeah, the tech might be cool, but at the end of the day, it's a gimmick and people just want to, like Microsoft's philosophy is people just want to have a controller in their hands. I mean, obviously that controller might be a mobile phone, but like they just want to have their controller, keyboard, whatever. Like they just want to sit down and play a game.
Microsoft hasn't even ventured into the mobile space either. They've done it.
They're trying to.
Yeah,
like just we talked about. They're waiting for this. They want to have their own marketplace set up, which I don't blame them.
I agree, but I'm just saying it's 20. We're not going to get that till like 2026. I honestly believe that.
If they say it's ready to go and they're just waiting on a court hearing, like I think next year it'll happen. Well, if the court rules in that favor.
We're not getting an Xbox handheld till 2026.
No, I'm talking about the mobile store.
Oh, the mobile store. Yeah, that'll be next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, like.
It might be this year if it happens. It might be in a couple weeks. You never know. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, we'll have to say. I mean, it's just that's what they've focused on. Xbox. They just controller, which they're not wrong. Like I don't disagree.
When they come out with their own headset, that's going to be their very first one. Whereas Nintendo and PlayStation have past experiences to look back on. They kind of know what works. They kind of know what doesn't. They've dipped their toes in the water.
I'm going to paraphrase Ty a little bit here, but I think I get the gist of what he's saying. He's saying, shut up, Devro. The industry is mature now. No more gimmicks, no motion controls, no touchscreens, just a standard handheld or standard controller. That's what he said.
But I think you're discounting the Switch. The Switch has motion controls with games with motion controls.
Yeah, but those aren't really like main features. Like they're there, but they're not the main focus of the platform. Like most games don't even utilize it because it's just kind of there.
I don't know.
How many games I'm playing Zelda Echoes of Wisdom right now, and there is zero motion control in that game. That's a first-party Nintendo game.
Yeah.
There's none. I don't know. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on to number 3 in the headlines. Black Ops 6 launch month was the biggest Call of Duty launch month ever. That's according to Activision, which claimed on Monday, today, that the game has attracted more players during its launch month. Oh, that was last Monday. Sorry. during its launch month than any other Call of Duty title. It also ranks first for total number of hours played and most matches played, the publisher said. The latest entry in Activision's shooter was released on October 25th for Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, PC. Notably, it was the first Call of Duty to launch day one on Game Pass. Ty says, motion control was the main feature for the Wii. Touchscreen was main feature for DS. Switch has none of these as a main feature. Switch is a standard handheld home console.
Okay.
Man, he put you in your place real quick.
I agree with that.
You agreed game put in your place? Wow.
He's not put in a place. He just mentioned.
No, he's 100% correct. He
I didn't say he wasn't. I said I agree. Why are you trying to make this a thing?
No, anyway, so I talked about it again. We were on Ty's show yesterday. Black Ops 6, man, like this, it is like the best Call of Duty in a long time. There is so much going on in this game, like in a good way, where it's just like I'm glad that it was the most successful Call of Duty that's happened yet. I mean, it's a phenomenal campaign, a phenomenal multiplayer product, a phenomenal zombies product. They're updating the game really well. Like again, like I am a big critic of the live service model, but like I got to give props when it's done correctly. Is that like they've kept season 1 going pretty strong with content. I mean, they added Prop Hunt last week, which, I mean, you watch me play. I love Prop Hunt. It's so good.
The right now is Prop Hunt.
I see that. They added some maps last week, and then Season 1 Reloaded comes out this week, which we'll talk about in a little bit. They've been updating the game. It's a lot of great content. Like, I know Call of Duty has that, for a lot of gamers, like, Call of Duty has that, like, it's just another year, another Call of Duty. But, like, man, do yourself a favor. Like, if you play on Xbox or you play on PC, just get Game Pass and try it. It's like, it's really good, and like I stand by it. Like it is a great Call of Duty, and like I play every single one, and I'll tell you when one's bad, and I'll tell you when a Call of Duty game's good. This one is really, really good. Like a high 9 out of 10 in my opinion.
That's good.
Yeah. Next up in the headlines, number 4, Devereaux, do we possibly know the Super Switch release date? Well, release month.
I think we do.
Well, it's according to a rumor published by popular Nintendo news site Nintendo Prime. According to the latest rumor, which the channel found on a Chinese forum called Weibo, and the Family Board's gaming forum, Nintendo will officially reveal its next system in January, followed by a March launch. Nintendo has not responded for requests to comment as of the publishing of the article put out by Insider Gaming. As always, until something is made official or Insider Gaming can independently confirm the details, take all rumors with a grain of salt. But this just sounds kind of right.
Yeah, it does sound right.
I mean, we're not going to see it in December.
No.
We talked about yesterday. We're not going to see it at the Game Awards. No. I think we see a game announcement from Nintendo at the Game Awards, but it's going to be a very much like, hey, here's like the next Mario game. By the way, it's on Nintendo's next platform, which we will reveal next month, January. I'm going to pick a date right now. January. Let's hold on. Prediction time. For fun, obviously. So I'm going to go to January.
Look for a Tuesday?
No, I'm not looking for a Tuesday. January. That's kind of late in the month. I want to say January 22nd.
I was going to say 21st.
Yeah, that week just feels right.
Yeah.
And then, like, just a mad scramble in February to pre-order it.
Yeah, for real.
It's like, it launches in 40 days. Yeah. Good luck. Well, I mean, we've talked about it. Nintendo's made it pretty clear, like, with a lot of reporting that, like...
They're ready for it.
They're going to try to make sure there's enough units to sell. Like, they're going to do their best. So, I'm going to try to be optimistic that it's going to work out. And then March, like a release date. Let's go to March. Why not? Real quick for fun. It's going to launch...
Consoles usually launch on what day of the week?
I don't remember. I mean, maybe a Friday. Yeah, I think a Friday. I think the Switch launched on a Friday. So I'm going to go on a limb and say it's going to launch.
The 21st?
Yeah. See, I usually take my vacation this week.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm going to be playing. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
But I agree. They'll probably come up with a game saying, hey, it's coming out on Switch. And also, it's coming out on something we have to show you in January.
And they're just like, the next console is like, we can't tell you. It's like, it's the next
It's a
console.
secret.
Nintendo's like, we're not telling you.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, it is time to be excited. The Game Awards are next week, whether we see it or not. I'm looking forward to the show. And I can't wait to see Jeff Keighley look like an idiot with his stupid awards. God damn it, Jeff. I'm just coming to learn that people named Jeff are the bane of my existence. Ty says, do you guys think Nintendo advertised the new Metroid Prime with normal controls or motion controls? Maybe both. But which one leads the marketing? I don't think they've.
That's a motion control game.
But Deborah, I thought the Switch had motion controls as the main
does.
feature.
I feel like when it launched, I think motion control was advertised as the main feature.
Ty's cooking them right now. It's crazy.
Mm.
He's just cooking you. You're getting
Cooking me with what?
You just probably
He
gasoline.
asked a question.
He's using gas.
I don't think they advertised Metroid with motion control.
No, absolutely not. No, this is gonna be a big shooter for them. Like they're gonna push. Like yeah, very excited for it. Excuse me. All right.
I don't know why you hate Nintendo so much.
I love Nintendo. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you looked around the room, you could tell how much I love Nintendo. Do they love me? No, absolutely not. Like not at all. Like at all. Anyways, next up in the headlines, we were talking about Call of Duty earlier. Well, Black Ops 6 Season 1 Reloaded is launching this week. And we will be getting some great content. It's launching this Thursday, December 5th. Treyarch confirmed that the new Zombies map, Citadel des Mortes, will be launching with the Season 1 Reloaded. Let's see. It's in full swing. So along with that, there's going to be 3 new weapons for the multiplayer. The Maelstrom, which is a shotgun. The AMR Mod 4, which is a sniper rifle. And a cleaver, which is a melee weapon. The 3 new weapons will arrive in the mid-season update, are all unlocked through in-game events, but we don't know what they'll involve yet. The Maelstrom is a fully automatic shotgun set to dominate close quarters, but falls short at long ranges. Low damage per shot, but it has a high fire rate. The Barrett 50 cal returns. It's called the AMR Mod 4, promising a one-shot kill to torso, arms, hands, and upper legs. Although semi-automatic, it has a slow fire rate and very high recoil, but is set to dominate with 100 meters. Sounds like the Call of Duty 4 Barrett's 50 cal to be exact, because it was a deadly ass gun, but the recoil of it was crazy. You'd shoot, it'd be like. So that stuff is expected, obviously, to change the meta. The cleaver shouldn't really change much. 3 new multiplayer maps are coming along with it. The first one being Hacienda. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it is a 6v6 map. It is the first remake map of this Call of Duty's, content, where it is from Black Ops 4, which I actually thought this was one of the better Black Ops 4 maps, to be honest. Didn't spend a lot of time in Black Ops 4 multiplayer. It was all Blackout. So, Racket, which is a 2v2 and 6v6 map, and also we'll be getting Nuketown's holiday variant, so it'll be the snowy, Christmassy holiday Nuketown.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I have a hot take about Nuketown, where it's like Call of Duty gamers love Nuketown, and I enjoy Nuketown, but I get so sick and tired of playing on Nuketown. It's like I don't know what the obsession is with like wanting to play the one singular same map over and over and over again. Like it's a great map, but it's like it's so overrated, like so much. Like,
is that the one that people vote on the most?
Yeah, I'm at a point now where I kind of just want to back out every time it gets voted, because like I just don't want to I like variety. I want to play on all the maps. I don't want to just keep playing on Nuketown. But that's just me. So there's also going to be a new perk and wild card. The Shrapnel Radar perk falls under the Recon type and highlights any enemy hit by your tacticals, lethals, and field upgrades on your minimap. Also arriving in Black Ops 6 Season 1 Reloaded, the High Roller wild card lets you equip a 4th score streak to earn during a match. I love the wild cards. It's something that they've added relatively recently. I forget which Call of Duty started it, but the wild card system is really good. I really enjoy that. There's going to be a Codsmith event with the Nuketown holiday variant and a variety of gifts in the days leading up to it. So there will be some Christmassy stuff there for, leading up to Christmas, and I'm sure after as well. The Zombies map, Citadel des Mortes map, It's going to be taking place in a giant like citadel type castle. There's going to be a new Perca-Cola, new field upgrade, new ammo mod, 18 new augments, 3 new gobblegums, which are kind of like perks, new wonder weapons, and a new enemy type. There's just a lot of stuff coming to Black Ops 6 this week, which is insane. And I also appreciate them for the developers' sake. So they're launching this earlier than they probably would have. Mm-hmm. So that way, like, people over Christmas aren't like, hey, instead of spending time with your families, we need you to fix this season that's broken. So I think that's a really cool move by them. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be jumping in Call of Duty. Speaking of other games that are just really doing the live service model really well right now, Pokemon TCG Pocket's new Venusaur solo battle event is live now, and I fucking have 2 of them already.
Nice.
I didn't get the Lapras. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I did everything I possibly could, and I failed. So I sat down and like you were like, oh, I got the Venusaur on my 3rd try, and I was like, Deborah, like I'm genuinely, as a friend, I'm happy for you, right? Like, as a friend, like, I'm so happy that you got this Venusaur card. But at the same time, like, I hope your phone explodes, right? But luckily, the ill wishes are no longer needed because I have the 2 Venusaurs. Yep. Again, this is similar to the Lapras event that they had last month. So there are 5 new cards that you can grab: Venusaur, Greninja, Haunter, Onix, and Jigglypuff. And I believe I have all 5 of them at this point. Maybe I don't have the Haunter. I actually might have the Haunter as well. So yeah, I'm done with the event. I'm happy about it. It's great. Pokemon TCG Pocket is doing extremely well. Mm-hmm. Ty says not to bring up Game Pass again, but having this live service like update will keep people playing and trying the game. Like Kenwall, it's a good catch for Xbox for sure. Completely agree. I think that you need games like that in Game Pass. It really adds value to it. Yeah. Where it's like it's a no-brainer. Like again, like I've been saying it to people, and I've been doing the work for Microsoft because they haven't done a great job at it. I mean, it's gotten better. I think when they realized that it didn't really hurt their sales, like they have kind of leaned into it a little bit more.
These companies need to pay you.
I wish
YouTube
someone
needs
would.
to pay you. Microsoft needs to pay you. Blue Sky needs to pay you.
Somebody.
You need a check.
Like somebody help me, please. Like I am
for free.
I've said it a million times, and I will say it again. I am for sale. 100%.
Maybe because you're doing it for free, they don't need to pay you. You're going to do it anyway.
All right, well, I'm not doing it anymore. It's a Nintendo. So, that's a start.
All right.
Anyways, guys, Pokemon Music app's pretty good. Nintendo Music app's pretty good. But no, yeah, it's great for Game Pass, and it's really smart. Yeah. Number 7 in the headlines: Elon Musk has been nominated at the Game Awards. Very prestigious. He is being
Dweeb of the Year.
According to a press release, Elon Musk has added a unique accolade to his resume. He has been nominated for Most Divorced Gamer at the Game Awards. Quote, "We created this category for 2023, and there was really only one person we had in mind, and that was Elon." Jeff Keighley, creator and host of the Game Awards, said, "His blend of desperation for recognition and his unique ability to repel virtually everyone, save for certain Tesla owners and crypto enthusiasts, make him a perfect fit." Grimes, Musk's most recent ex-wife at the time of this publication, said no one deserved the nomination more. "Most 50-something-year-old men will buy a Mustang or a Corvette after a breakup," she said. Elon spent $44 billion on a social media site just to retweet Ian Miles Chong's most 30 tweets in between Diablo streams. Actress Tallulah Riley, Musk's second and briefly third wife, released an Instagram post congratulating Elon on the nomination. "When Elon was thinking of buying Twitter, I urged him to do it and then delete it. He's been doing great. If somewhat slower job than I would prefer so far," she said. "He just plays Elden Ring and retweets anyone who gets closest to saying the 14 words." Elon himself was not available for comment as he was busy drafting tweets that would eviscerate the enterprise value of one of his companies. The query was forwarded to X's CEO Linda Yaccarino, however, who had an auto reply message that said, in regards to Elon's tweet today, X's point of view has always been very clear that discrimination by everyone should stop across the board. I think that's something we can and should all agree on. When it comes to this platform, X has been extremely clear about our efforts to combat anti-Semitism and discrimination. There's no place for it anywhere in the world. It's ugly and wrong, full stop. It's a great auto response that you have built into your X account.
Yeah.
So, congrats to him
I guess.
on his nomination. Do you think he'll win?
Yeah.
For most divorced gamer?
Do you know another one? I can't think of anyone that can beat him.
No, it's fair. It's fair. It's definitely his award for the taking. Number 8 on the headlines. This was kind of an evolving story throughout the day that I actually had to change. So this morning there was some teases that Crash Bandicoot 4 might be coming to Game Pass. And then it turned out it's not Crash Bandicoot 4. It's Crash Team Racing, which I would actually rather that be on Game Pass. I'd rather play that. I haven't played Crash. Oh, I have played Crash 4, but I haven't played Crash Team Racing. So I definitely would. I'm happy about this. The announcement came from the official Xbox X account, where the company said, "Start your engines and get ready to race in 3, 2, 1. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is coming to Game Pass this week, December 4th, so Thursday." The game was released in June 2019 by Activision and developed by Beanox. The game was released on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, and received generally favorable reviews according to review aggregator Metacritic. So yeah, we're just continuing with this really slow Xbox Game Pass Activision feed, like drip feed, which I don't agree with it, but I mean it's fine. I was
expecting it, but I thought some other hard hitters would be on the service by now.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It has been a weird decision. Like obviously Crash Bandicoot's really big. Honestly, I think they're trying to test the market for the Crash Bandicoot Spyro. Like there's clearly a thought process here when you look at their Activision Game Pass releases. Obviously, they did Modern Warfare 3 to gear up for Black Ops 6. And then they did do StarCraft for the PC gamers because it was StarCraft's anniversary or whatever.
Isn't there like a rumor that there is already something Spyro related being developed?
Yeah, so we think Toys for Bob might be making a Spyro game. Now remember, they bought their independence, but they're still partnering with Xbox. Yeah. So that's the belief currently, that they are working on a Spyro game. Okay. So yeah, this is a good pickup for Game Pass and something we'll have to keep an eye on with the Activision Game Pass games. Number 9 on the headlines. Future Mortal Kombat 1 DLC is rumored to be canceled after poor expansion sales. It appears as though the future content from Mortal Kombat 1 is ending after Pack 2 wraps up. According to new claims, developer NetherRealm has canceled DLC plans for a Combat Pack 3 and a second story expansion. Known Mortal Kombat 1 leaker Fate Unknown posted on Reddit that the cancellations happened recently after the Chaos Reigns expansion sold poorly. It's not all bad for Mortal Kombat 1's fans, as there are still characters from Combat Pack 2 to join the roster, such as Conan the Barbarian and the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Fate Unknown also said that it's possible a cameo or two make it to the game due to work that had already been done, but he didn't know yet. So
that sucks. But I mean, like, you already have a bunch of stuff you're still going to put out. I feel like you should just go ahead and put out the expansion. I don't know.
Oh, they're going to make him work on the next thing if it didn't do well, I guess.
So. Yeah.
Number 10 in the headlines. Witcher 4 is in full development now. CD Projekt Red confirmed as such. It's currently known as Project Polaris, and it's officially in full production. The announcement came as part of the studio's Q3 2024 earnings report last Tuesday. He says, quote, "I'm pleased to announce that several weeks ago it moved on to full-scale production." The chief financial officer, whose name I am not going to attempt. Do you want to try it?
Where's his name?
Yeah, hold on. Right
oh, no, never mind.
It's Piotr Nilubowicz.
Yeah.
There it is. Look at that. Of all of our projects, this one is currently the most far along, and we're starting the most intensive phase of development. I wish to thank the team, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for further progress. So, yeah.
Sounds like a 2026 release.
Which, maybe, 2027 probably.
Yeah.
Witcher 3 was a massive game.
Yeah,
and
I still have to play it.
I think it was too big, personally. Like, I don't know. It's a great game. I loved it. I would maybe someday, if I have like a free 4 months, I'll go back and try it again.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember getting to a point where I'm like, man, there is too much to this game. I need to be done with it. It was a lot. It was great though. It was a great game.
Okay.
Number 11 in the headlines. I'm interested to get your take on this, Deborah. There's a rumor that Ubisoft is working on an Animal Crossing inspired game codenamed Altera. Ubisoft is a new project in development that will be a new social sim that uses voxel creation. Sources say the gameplay loop will be akin to the likes of Animal Crossing. Insider Gaming understands that the new project has been in development for approximately 18 months and was born following the cancellation of another project that used voxel creation and was in development for around 4 years. Project Altera is described to Insider Gaming as an Animal Crossing inspired social sim that will see players inhabit a home island that will consist of interactable NPCs named Matterlings. Sources said that the players will be able to leave their home island and go to other worlds, which consist of different biomes, different types of Matterlings, enemies, materials, and more, where they will also be able to interact with other players. It was said that the game is somewhat similar to Minecraft's building mechanics, allowing players to build what they want with gathered materials. For example, if a player would like to create something out of snow and ice, they'd have to travel by means unknown to an ice world inhabited by snow-ice Matterlings. Images sent to Insider Gaming show Matterlings somewhat like Funko Pop figures in their design, with large heads, which you can kind of see right here on my screen. Created, inspired by both fictional dragons, swamp monsters, etc. And that's what they look like, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, yeah, it looks.
If you tell me that someone's making a game that's Ubisoft x Animal Crossing, I'd be like, I'm all for it. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Will they nail it? Who knows? But the concept of it sounds really cool.
Yeah. All right. Number 12 in the headlines. Troy Baker has revealed that he is returning for Naughty Dog's next project. Obviously, Troy Baker, one of the industry's most sought-after talents, will return to work under Neil Druckmann on whatever comes next at Naughty Dog. Baker has been in bed with ND, Naughty Dog, since 2013's The Last of Us, and the developer is unwilling to part ways with the superstar voice actor just yet. In an interview with GQ, Troy Baker discussed his recent ventures. In one segment, he promised to return to work with Naughty Dog on Druckmann's new project, whatever that may be. In the interview with GQ, it was reported that Neil Druckmann, the creator of The Last of Us, said, "In a heartbeat, I would always work with Troy." This was quoted alongside a report that Baker will return to Naughty Dog to play a role in Druckmann's next project, which remains under wraps. It has been an uncharacteristically quiet year for Troy Baker, but he is playing the chief role in the upcoming Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. He's playing as Indy. Mm-hmm. He also had a spot in Arkham Shadow where he played as the Joker earlier this year. Okay, that's pretty much it. So yeah, Troy Baker is returning for the next project.
Nice.
I mean, he's always kind of really coincided with Naughty Dog, whether it be The Last of Us or everything else. Yeah, so not really surprising. Good for them. Keep them together. Speaking of Animal Crossing, I really should have put this one right after that. We have a nominee to another cabinet from Donald Trump. Donald Trump has nominated Tom Nook as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. President-elect Donald J. Trump has selected real estate mogul Tom Nook to head the cabinet's Department of Housing and Urban Development. The nomination came Friday during a rally on Trump Island, which was recently charted off the Florida coastline.
Trump Island?
Sounds like America. I've known Tom for years. Long time. Tom Crook, they used to call him. Nasty nickname given to him by the Dirty Dems. I wouldn't call him that, but many called him corrupt. Not now, though. Many people are saying it's the greatest appointment ever. That's what they're saying, folks. Believe me. Let me tell you. Most people think he's a fox, but he's a tanuki. A lot of people don't know that. The tanukis, they love me. When you spell Tom Nook, it's like tanuki. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that? Tanukis. He's a Japanese raccoon dog with big nuts. Huge balls on a dog thing. That's how we make America great again. Nook addressed the crowd after taking the stage to KK Lament, which the performing artist Todakeke has since clarified was an unlicensed use of his song. How shall I begin? I'm quite glad that I'll be working with such an ambitious administration to turn over a new leaf and transform this desolate country. Nook later hinted at plans for his appointment. My programs will put a roof over every American's head, or at least a tent, oh ho. It won't cost you anything. Well, it'll cost you a few bells. Pocket change, really. But will provide loans to anyone unable to afford their mandatory housing once Timmy and Tommy are headed to the Treasury and the SEC. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes. Let's get started. Economic analyst Kit Soon, creator of the Substack For Whom the Bells Toll, warned against the nomination. He says, do not be fooled by his quaint demeanor. Mr. Nook has made a career off predatory practices. Tanuki are not benevolent magical creatures. They are greedy, mischievous fiends, and Tom Nook is no exception. He creates closed-loop economies with fake currencies built upon indentured servitude. Then he pulls the rug. His appointment threatens to bankrupt this country, leaving millions in destitute poverty, and it reeks of cronyism. Soon further described the intricacies of the Nook Inc. enterprise. Quote, He buys land in locales with no construction codes, no oversight, and no competition, where his family can exploit the labor force in exchange for structures and furnishings, which are mere illusions. He uses devious magic to turn leaves into useful objects. Then he leaves before they revert to their useless form after selling his stake in these fake gentrified communities. At press time, a Trump transition spokesperson announced that they would no longer be pursuing a Nook nomination upon learning his home ownership restructuring plan included interest-free lending.
Okay.
Thoughts on this, Stefan?
I mean, I feel like Tom Nook would fit there, I guess. I mean...
Well, they retracted it after they realized that his loans are interest-free.
Oh.
So it's just not going to work out, I suppose. One thing I love about the hard drive articles, right, is they do Trumpism so well, like how he speaks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm reading the art, like, I'm like, he definitely said this. Like, there's no way that he didn't say this. I don't believe it. Anyways. Number 14 on the headlines. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth isn't on Xbox yet, but the director clearly wants to see it happen. Feels like we're constantly hearing from people at Square Enix about their desires to bring more Final Fantasy games to Xbox, and although it has happened in some ways recently, we're still waiting on a few big ones. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for example, seemingly only had a 3-month exclusivity window, meaning potential Xbox release could just be around the corner. Who knows if that's the case, but the game's director clearly would like to bring it to another audience. Naokai Hamaguchi said in an interview with Games Radar, in terms of Final Fantasy VII, there's nothing really we can say at the moment, but I certainly do want to bring Final Fantasy VII and the remake series to as many players out there as possible. Hamaguchi didn't just reference Rebirth, but the entire series as a whole, which includes Final Fantasy VII Remake from 2020. If that wasn't enough, he even talked a bit about Xbox giving his personal opinion on the brand. He praised it as a great hardware platform and revealed that he owns one himself.
So how soon are you going to buy this and replay it so you can get all the achievements for it?
Listen.
Immediately.
Listen. I've been saying it for a few years now. Square Enix, Xbox, to an extent PlayStation, give me what I want. This year, I spent 2 months...
You left Nintendo out of that.
Well, I'm talking about like the Final Fantasy equation right now, right? And PlayStation did have a role in that for a little bit. Not anymore. I spent 3 months this year, Devereaux.
Yeah.
Over 200 hours playing Octopath Traveler 1 on Xbox Game Pass for the achievements.
Yep.
After playing it previous year. I'm not going to try to hide the fact that my 2 favorite games of the last decade are Final Fantasy VII Remake and Octopath. So, like, yes, I will play it again.
Mm-hmm. You already got like 2 months separated for next year.
Yeah.
For Octopath Traveler 2.
Yes.
So
I'm thinking
if there's gonna be another 2 months for this game.
I'm thinking February.
Okay.
We'll see.
Get out the way early.
Well, the problem is February is kind of stacked, so maybe May.
Okay.
Maybe it's gonna be May.
We'll see.
We will see. But anyways,
No, this is cool.
I'm excited. More like again, just end these stupid exclusivity deals. Games should be everywhere, especially if they're a third party. Unless PlayStation made the game, unless Xbox made the game. Well, I mean Xbox made the games anyway. Unless Nintendo made the game, put it everywhere.
I disagree, but
Well, you know, you continue to disappoint. Number 15, the headlines. I have not finished Echoes of Wisdom, but huge news. Massive news.
massive.
Massive news.
Okay.
Not for you, but for me. Nintendo has added The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom to the official Zelda timeline. Polygon says, take a deep breath. Nintendo has revealed that the Echoes of Wisdom position on the official franchise timeline just 2 months after the adventure arrived on Switch. According to the Zelda lore masters, Echoes of Wisdom exists on the alternate timeline created by Link's potential failure in 1998's Ocarina of Time. It sits somewhere between Triforce Heroes, the multiplayer-focused Nintendo 3DS game, and the Decline of the Hyrule Kingdom, an event that precedes the series' NES debut in 1986. So basically, the official timeline kind of ping-pongs through our own reality without always following the order in which the games were released. I wonder if... Did Polygon put a... No. Hold on. I wanted to pull up a nice little image of it, Deborah, so I can explain it to you better. So, have I showed you Zelda timeline before?
Yeah, you have the book somewhere.
I have. So, all right. So, really great content for people watching. So, obviously, you start with Skyward Sword here, right? Mm-hmm. And you have this timeline that goes through. You have Minish Cap, the Oracle games, and you have Ocarina of Time, right? Ocarina of Time fucks everything up because Zelda wanted to play with the time-space continuum, right? So, go through the years, we thought that there were two timelines, right? That go after Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. You have the childhood ending and you have the adult ending of Ocarina of Time, right? Okay. And because there are 2 points where that we leave off, where the adult timeline is where Link defeats Ganondorf, kills him, and then Zelda sends Link back to his own time. That is a timeline that continues without Link.
Okay.
And then you have the other timeline, which Link gets sent back in time to relive his childhood. He goes and tells Zelda, hey, Ganondorf is going to do this. Let's not open the door of time. Let's go tell the king about it. So then the king arrests Ganondorf, and a whole big fight ensues. But they capture him. They prevent Ganondorf from doing everything that he does in the future.
Okay.
Right? So for years, we were like, these are the two timelines. Then Nintendo was like, well, we can't really fit these other Zelda games in that timeline. So there's a third timeline where Ocarina of Time Link dies. He does not succeed. He goes to fight Ganondorf in the final battle, and he loses. So,
where does Monopoly fit in that? The Zelda Monopoly. I know that's canon.
That usually fits. We kind of just lump all that together down in the Dead Hero timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But so basically, where Echoes of Wisdom is, Devereaux, it is right here. This is where it happens.
And that's between...
So that's between the Triforce Heroes game and then the original Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
So the downfall of Hyrule. Now, they've always been really coy about this with Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. They're like, oh, it's not really part of anything. We don't really know what to do with it. It's kind of a piece of trash. We didn't think about that. We just wanted to make a good game.
What do you mean it's a piece of trash?
What? I didn't say that.
That's crazy.
When did I say... What? What did I...
It's recorded.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll clip it then. He said Zelda is a piece of trash. You hear this? This guy hates Nintendo. Like
obviously,
I said earlier.
Obviously, I didn't say that. I don't know
Crazy.
I don't know where you're coming up with this stuff.
Hate Nintendo. Zelda's a piece of trash.
I don't know where.
Wild.
There's no way I think that. There's no way I think that. I'm literally wearing a Hyrule hat right now. A Hyrule baseball team hat.
You like triangles.
I do like triangles, but that's not the point. I like triangles because of Zelda, not the other way around. I mean, I haven't finished the game. So I can't really say how much it makes sense that it's placed there, but I mean,
I feel like it doesn't make sense. I think they just...
So my big critique is that this fallen hero timeline does just feel like a lot of stuff is just thrown in there, right? But The timelines that make sense are the adult and the childhood timeline, because the childhood one is Majora's Mask and then Twilight Princess and then Four Swords Adventure. And that one has always made a lot of sense to me. The adult one also makes a lot of sense because it's Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and then Spirit Tracks. That stuff all makes a lot of sense. And if we really sat down and we did a whole show on just this, I could explain why it all makes sense. But the Fallen Hero timeline was really just Nintendo being like, hey, we didn't think about a Zelda timeline until Majora's Mask. So it's like you could look at it, it's like A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening.
The fans forced them to make a timeline. That's what it was.
We bullied Nintendo. Yeah. Bullying works.
You guys forced them to make it.
I would expect you to respect that a little bit. You don't respect that at all?
Respect bullies? I mean,
we made Nintendo put a timeline out.
Yeah, I think that's
cool. We're talking about the company that murders fans.
I think it's cool, but you can see why they were like, this goes here and this goes here, and let's put everything else on this timeline.
So to be fair, if you read Hyrule Historia, there is there are reasons and it makes sense, but it is kind of funny because also the hero failing timeline makes a lot of sense because all these games have actual Ganon, the beast Ganon in it.
Yeah.
Whereas it would make sense that Ganondorf is Ganon at that point because Ganon killed Link, so then Ganon is just still there. It makes sense. It does make sense, but yeah. Ty says Nintendo should just say Link is having a dream. Every game is a new dream. In reality, though, Link is actually Road, envious of Mario and dreaming about being the hero. So that's actually something that Nintendo has done about Zelda, right? Even though there's a timeline. So people have said this, and kind of what you said, where it's there's always discrepancies. It's do all the games match up in this timeline well? The answer is no. And I always thought it was cool that Nintendo had this argument that he's well, these are legends passed down through generations. And as stories go down generations, details get missed. Details get changed. So it's I've always thought that was kind of cool, where it's this is our timeline. It doesn't really make sense, but that's because these are the legends of Zelda that are being told, handed down generation after generation.
I don't know if it was you or maybe someone early Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
When in the very beginning of Tears of the Kingdom, where Zelda goes into the cave and she sees.
Yes, it was me. It was me.
It was
I freaked out.
War. Yeah, it was
I was the 100-Year War.
Yeah, including stuff from the past where it's they are legends, so you're not gonna get. You're gonna get the key things, the Triforce, the three hero, the three people.
Yeah, because it doesn't line up with the 100-Year War at all.
Yeah,
it doesn't at all. But I mean, when
the fact that it happened in that universe, and
the legends speak of it. Yeah. So. All right. Number 16 on the headlines. Conor McGregor, his Hitman partnership has been cut out after a sexual assault verdict. Last week, Conor McGregor was found guilty of sexual assault charges in the court of Dublin, Ireland. What up, Ty? He was ordered to pay almost $300,000 in damages based on allegations that he brutally... I don't know if I should say this for the sake of the YouTube algorithm. R-word and battered a woman in a hotel in 2018. In light of the news, IO Interactive has decided to part ways with Conor McGregor, who was added to Hitman World of Assassination in July as a special target in the Disruptor DLC. Bizarrely, fans of McGregor spoke out against those using the game to murder McGregor's character repeatedly. Could you imagine? He's hey, look, he's a piece of shit, but we don't gotta kill the guy. What do you... Yeah. Weird. It's just weird. People get weird. People get so weird about these things.
I get taking him out, though. You don't want to be associated with that in your game.
Yeah, no, I get why the developer did that. So, number 17 in the headline, Ubisoft has been sued. Not over how terrible Skull and Bones is, but their return to office mandate. As if things couldn't get more interesting for Ubisoft, the company now finds itself with a lawsuit on its hands. Unions at Ubisoft Barcelona have sued the French publisher over its recent return to office mandates. According to GamesIndustry.biz, the unions for both AAA and mobile teams are demanding Ubisoft ensure protections for remote work and walk back the recent policy changes. The changes that were announced back in September mandated that all Ubisoft employees work in office at least 3 days per week. At the time, Ubisoft said these changes were being done to enhance creativity and teamwork. Under the old remote work policy, employees were able to choose were able to choose up to 60% of days to be worked remotely. Sorry, there's a typo in that. On top of that, they were also fully remotely workers on staff. The new mandate was to be followed by all employees, even those with prior full-time remote agreements. According to the unions via GI Biz, the change by Ubisoft was done suddenly and without transparency. It would also create logistical problems as offices aren't prepared to accommodate all remote workers at once. It was added that both parties were ready for negotiations. However, Ubisoft management hadn't submitted a proposal before the lawsuit was filed on October 14th. Ubisoft can't catch a break, it seems.
Yeah. I don't know if they win this. I don't know if they win it either. People win. I mean, I think Ubisoft wins this. Is what I'm saying.
It will set a precedent. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Number 18 on the headlines. Deborah, are you stressed out?
I'm very stressed.
All right. Well, go play Stardew Valley. Okay. In a recent study, it was determined that Stardew Valley is the best game for reducing stress. It narrowly beat the likes of Animal Crossing and A Short Hike to the top spot, securing a cozy score of 9.4 out of 10. The study, which was completed by Northerner, aimed to determine the best game for reducing stress. It looked at 20 games, pulling together and aggregating their review scores from a variety of sources. There was a network of preliminary criteria each game had to hit to be considered cozy in the first place, of course. The full list of games was topped by Stardew Valley, but it also featured the likes of Coral Island, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Pokemon Snap, Donut County. At the bottom of the table sat Cozy Grove with just a score of 3.7 out of 10, which was paltry compared to Stardew Valley's near perfect score. Yeah, so if you're stressed out,
if she's not stressed or not.
Yeah, I'll have to ask her. She's stressed. Number 19, our final headline of the day. Squid Game and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 have a collab coming in January. It was announced today about the collab. I don't think we actually have any other details. No, that's it. Yeah, there's a collab coming, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I mean, I'm really impatient. I really want the Halo and the Gears and the Doom, but like, all right, I mean, it's cool. It was a cool little teaser trailer, which I think you're playing right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's like PlayStation coming to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't watched Squid Games, which admittedly I haven't, but I know the symbols. Mm-hmm. So it's just funny to me where it's like I remember watching this and I'm like, PlayStation?
That actually is really funny.
How
do you think of that?
Yeah. If there was an X on there, it would have been perfect. Yeah. I'm sorry, a cross. They call it a cross. Psychos. What a psychotic thing. It's like, oh, look at this. Look at this X. What do you call it? And it's a cross. It's like, no, that's a cross. This is not a cross. It bothers me. Things bother me. Unfortunately. Well, that's it for the headlines. Let's get into the game releases for the week with the Game Informer Memorial releases for the week of December 2nd, 2024.
Before that, Ty said, who do you think is paying for the collab, Netflix or Activision Blizzard? They do have Season 2 coming out very soon. Maybe it's mutual? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a cut in the collab. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like you said, Season 2's coming out, but at the same time, I think Microsoft, something that you're seeing right now, which works, by the way, because we didn't do a show last week. I've been to IHOP 5 times in the last 2 weeks. I just want the fucking Xbox glasses. Well, it's 4 times in the last 2 weeks. But I got the Halo one. So I found out how they're doing it. So every week, it's a new cup that goes on the storefront.
Okay.
So last week, I got the Halo one. So I actually got to go back on there. I wonder, let's see. I should have enough points for one. Yeah, I have 17, so I should have enough.
Have you been enjoying the breakfasts at least?
So I tried the stuffed French toast menu, like the Indiana Jones menu. Mm-hmm. I've had pretty much everything on the Indiana Jones menu. And I liked it. It was good.
Okay. I like IHOP. I know they get a lot of shit. They're kind of like the bottom of the barrel for breakfast food, but I like IHOP.
I don't think they're bottom of the barrel. I just think they're really hit or miss. Like, it's like, I don't know. I think their staff is what it comes down to. I just think sometimes it's not very good. Anyway, so here we go. Rewards. Is it a new coin or is it a new cup? Let's see. Are we doing this live right now? Oh, the Sea of Thieves glass is up. Should I get it?
I mean, yeah, you're planning to get it anyway.
Yeah, the only one I really don't care about is the flight simulator.
I also saw they had T-shirts and stuff up there.
Oh yeah, so they do have other. Oh, that's actually new. Yeah, the IHOP Xbox shirt and the IHOP Xbox hat. That's pretty cool, actually.
So if you have any leftover points, you don't want the flight simulator one. Get a hat or something.
Yeah, and they have mouse pads and.
That's cool.
It is, yeah.
Game Pass for what? How much is that?
It's a 1 month trial for 15 coins, which.
Good month trial.
Same as the cup. Just get the cup. And I guess you can get the games. That's kind of cool, actually. Wow.
That's the part
that's
crazy.
new. Yeah. Halo Infinite for 40 coins. And that's a lot of money you're spending to get Halo Infinite, though.
Yeah, and it's probably just a digital code, which it doesn't matter if you just want the game, but
yeah. Anyways, collabs work is my point.
Okay.
So if I'm Microsoft, if I'm on Xbox, they're probably like, let's get a hot IP with Call of Duty.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
The Squid Games works.
Yeah,
even if it's just outfits, there's a lot of like really cool, like iconic outfits in Squid Games. So
right. I'll order this cup later because I actually have to like put my stuff in for it. Anyways, the game releases for the week. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete Edition is coming out on iOS and Android December 2nd. That's obviously them sunsetting that.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, they're like, hey, here's
you put out everything as one package.
Yeah,
yeah, I like that.
That comes out today. Anton Blast comes out on Switch and PC December 3rd. Delta Force PC December 4th. The Edge of Allegoria, December 4th, PC. Bridge Constructor Studio comes to the Quest 2 and Quest 3 on December 5th. Caves of Cud, PC, December 5th. Fantasia Neo Dimension comes out on PS5 and PS4 on December 5th. Fitness Boxing 3 comes out on Switch December 5th. Infinity Nikki comes out on PS5, iOS, Android, and PC December 5th. Skydance's Behemoth comes out on PS5, PC, VR, PSVR 2, and Quest December 5th. Marvel Rivals, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on December 6th. And Tombstalkers, PC, December 6th. Ty says, did you guys see the new Squirrel Girl in the new Marvel game? Damn, he says. So, Dev, what is your pick?
I haven't seen Squirrel Girl. Okay, my pick is probably going to be Skydance's Behemoth.
Oh, okay.
It's a really... Skydance is, I forget their first game. It's the Walking Dead. They did the Walking Dead game for VR.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably one of the best VR games right now.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to have a, fantasy-esque world, I'm all for that. Yeah, I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'll play it, at launch, but it's definitely something I'm adding to my wish list at least.
So I am really interested in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a hero shooter guy, and I think that's what's not... It's not going to be my pick of the week because it's a hero shooter, and that's just a genre that, I just don't really ever care about or enjoy.
I'm going to play the Squirrel Girl one for Ty.
Yeah, go ahead, put it on. My pick of the week is going to be Infinity Nikki. I don't think there's a chance that I like this game because it's it's like a fashion design. But, every time we've seen this game, I'm like...
There's something about it.
It's just I think it's because, I want to play in that game world, but I want it to be, an RP, a JRPG or, an action-adventure game. But,
But don't the outfits affect combat in a way?
Probably, and I'll probably hate it. But that's why
I'll probably I think you'll end up liking it. I think it's one of those weird things where I'm playing a dress-up game right now with combat, and I love every part of it.
Fun.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Right. But I will say this: so I am gonna also kind of cheat a little bit because we're not gonna be doing a show next week, which I'll get into in a little bit. We're not gonna do a traditional podcast next week. Mm-hmm. I should say. So we're not going to be doing a pick for the week next week. So I'm going to say Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is my pick because I am so damn excited to play Indiana Jones. It's been one of my highly anticipated games coming this year.
I mean, I guess before the Game Awards start, we'll have everything set up and we can probably talk about.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we could probably be live.
At least a game releases or something like that.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, but I'll pick it officially next week. But I just want to say I'm really excited.
In advance, we already know.
Yeah, the launch trailer came out. It was really good. We watched it before we went live. It's great. All right. So wrapping up for the week. I'm kind of going back and forth between Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
which is just kind of usually when I enjoy Call of Duty, like that's just kind of how it is for me, where it's like I'm juggling 2 games usually. Prop Hunt, I've been playing a lot of Prop Hunt. I remember the one you were watching me play yesterday where I was like that bored.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
Such a good... You got a good item in a good spot.
There may be no greater feeling in the world than when you're playing Prop Hunt and like it just... And you just like... And like there's that moment where like they're right there and you're just like...
You panicked for a second, but then you got back in the spot and you just left it alone. And yeah, it was good.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Are you still playing? You're still playing Pikmin?
Yeah. So there's a point where you beat the game.
Yeah.
And it's only, I guess, the halfway point.
Yeah, Nintendo likes these stuff.
Yeah, like they roll credits and everything. It's only the halfway point.
And they're like, psych.
Yeah, and the good thing is I'm enjoying every second I'm playing with this game. Like it's a long game I'm playing, but it's really fun. I love Pikmin.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, we're gonna get ready to wrap things up here. This has been the Game Room Podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, join our Discord where we're always talking about games and other things. So next week we are going to be doing technical issues for God forbid. We are going to do a watch along with of the Game Awards. We're gonna be here. I believe it's Thursday, December 12th. Where you can actually schedule the live stream ahead of time so you're not scrambling the day of because you know when it'll be. Like Deborah said, we'll go live maybe like a half hour before, an hour before, and we'll just kind of shoot the shit, hang out, talk games. What
time does it start?
I want to say the pre-show probably starts at 7, so maybe we start at 6:30 and we're just kind of hanging out. I'll double check the details.
We should order food, just chill.
Yeah, it'll be a whole thing, yeah, for sure, 100%. So yeah, we'll be back. Make sure you subscribe for that because it's gonna be a lot of fun. We have a lot of honestly I love reacting with other people to trailers and all that stuff. So if you're gonna watch the Game Awards, put us on at the same time and let's hang out. Let's have a good time. You can follow me on Blue Sky at RomeW. I keep forgetting.
So yeah, I keep forgetting that. So
we're so busy.
Oh god. RomeW on Blue Sky. They'll find you.
Yeah, you type in RomeW. I'm there. I'm talking wrestling, video games, football, go Birds, all that stuff. But until next week, we will see you guys then.